Hey guys, welcome back to the second part of the EVR vlog. I hope you guys are excited for this vlog. I'm very excited because I think it's going to be very interesting. So please stay tuned. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more similar content in the future. So guys, let's get started. If you guys haven't already watched the previous vlog, it will be in the link down below. So please catch up with the vlog over there, and this vlog will make a lot more sense. If not, I think it might be a little bit confusing. So anyway, on this back 9 here at KGPA, I'm going to be talking a lot more about what I was discussing with regards to actually being able to change your attitude, be happier on the golf course, set better expectations for yourself, and therefore enjoy golf even more. So I will still be including all the information above on the right side corner, as you can see, and it will be for every single shot that I think they matter. And the statistics are there as well for you to see, but I will not be discussing them as much. It's because I assume that you guys already know what I'm talking about, and well, if you've seen the first vlog, you know exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't think I need to talk about them any further. And again, as I've mentioned as well, I do not know where the sources of this statistic are coming from. They are from golf.com, so I think they should be pretty reliable, but again, I don't know if they are based on men professional or female professional. And if anybody does find any statistics with regards to how far people hit certain irons, I think that would be super interesting. So for instance, on this hole, I hit an 8 iron to about 12 feet. So instead of finding the statistics of how far you would hit the shot from 150 yards, if you could find the statistics of how close you would normally hit an 8 iron, I think that would be so much more interesting. So if anybody does find those statistics anywhere on the internet, please let me know and please link them down below. I will be super interested to see them. But anyway, let's move on to the vlog. Over here, it's not a par 3 and I'm hitting a hybrid again. As you can tell, the par 3s on this course are pretty long. I've been hitting 5 iron hybrid and hybrid here again. So they're definitely not par 3s that are very easy. And par 3s in general are actually, although people say par 3s are short holes and the holes that you should score on, they are actually the holes with the least amount of shots. There's only 3 shots for you to get a par. So it's actually the easiest to drop a shot. So don't take that into consideration. Obviously, if the par 3 is really short, you do want, well, even if it's a long par 3, you still do want to give yourself the best chance. But always remember, par 3s are actually the most difficult hole to make pars or birdies on. So don't be too hard on yourself if you miss the green or if you don't make the desirable score on a par 3. Just remember that they are the hardest hole in the course, and if you don't agree with this, let me know what you think. But because they're at the least amount of strokes, in that sense, I do think that they are the hardest to score on. So anyway, what I was talking about with regards to being happier and being more satisfied with yourself on the on the golf course, which I think come hand in hand, is really with regards to what I'm talking right now about for instance, par 3s, giving yourself realistic expectations. On this par 3, I had a hybrid, so the chances of me hitting it really close, I would have to hit a really good hybrid there. And also, even from 200 yards, the chances of a pro hitting the green is about 50% of the time. So 1 in every two shots with a 200-yard club, they would miss the green. So don't take it too hard when you miss a green from 200 yards. It's a long hole, it's not easy, it's a par 3, you only get 1 shot. If you hit a bad shot, you are put in a very difficult lie. So always take these kind of things into perspective. And before I further talk, I do want to include the reason why it's stuck right now is actually a slow-mo video. And I find that the slow-mo videos when they're edited, they do not come up very clear. So let me know if you guys think it's okay. If not, I will link my Instagram down below because I do include a lot of slow-mos over there, and I know a lot of you guys wanted to see those kind of content. So maybe instead of including it here in my YouTube videos, you can just head over to my Instagram. But please let me know if you do want that or not. Anyway, this is a par 5. This is a very difficult hole because it is an index 2 par 5. And one of the main reasons why is because there's a lot of water, it's uphill, it's a long hole. So there are definitely a lot of factors that make it a difficult hole. So let's talk about expectations for a hole like this. This par 5, I feel like for quite a lot of people might not even be reachable from the blue tees because it is a pretty long hole. It is 520 meters, and not including the uphill and the slope and stuff like that, and the water down the left side. So you do need to hit good shots and to give yourself a good position to approach the green. And the green here is very tricky as well. There's a lot of slopes, a lot of undulation. So it's definitely not a very easy scoring hole. So always keep that in mind when you play holes like this. Your first goal obviously is to hit, well, obviously your goals have to be shot by shot. So try to hit the fairway, try to hit a good layup shot, try to hit a good third shot. But obviously the first goal should always be to hit good shots, and then it should be, if you want to think about score, think about par. Don't give yourself such high expectations that you think par 5 means birdie. Par 5s don't always mean birdie. Sometimes short par 4s are easier to birdie than long par 5s. Either way, I think the most important thing is that you give yourself the best opportunity to shoot the best score. And obviously the way to do that is to focus shot by shot, but also to make sure that you don't give yourself unrealistic expectations that make you unsatisfied, unhappy with the results that you're getting. So don't set it in your mind that par 5s mean birdie, because then if you make a bogey on a par 5, then it gets to your head and you're thinking, oh, now I need to make up a stroke because I just made a bogey on a par 5. It doesn't work that way, guys. At the end of the day, whether you birdie every par 5 or you birdie 4 par 4s and par the par 5s, the score is going to be the same. So always remember, although the score is important, the score is the score, and it always goes hole by hole. It doesn't really matter what the par is, if it's a par 3, par 4, and par 5. As I said just now, par 3s are the hardest, but also if it's a 120-yard par 3 versus, when you're hitting a pitching wedge into the green versus a par 5 where you're hitting a 5-iron, obviously the par 3 is going to be easier. So the circumstances always changes the difficulty of the hole, and don't go by the par of the hole. Always think about it in terms of, okay, realistically, how difficult is this hole for me and for my game? One other thing that I wanted to say as well is this course is pretty long. There is quite a bit of uphill, so I do have quite a lot of long clubs going into greens. So this is one of the shorter holes. As you can tell here, I have a 9-iron, but unfortunately I'm in a really bad lie, and that is actually why I chunked it, and I left myself in a really bad position considering I was hitting a 9-iron. But again, as I mentioned, I was in a really bad lie. So, even though I'm hitting a 9-iron there, I'm not going to be too upset, because I knew when I went up there and saw my lie that it was going to be a very difficult shot. And these greens here don't hold as well, so the other possibility was for me to hit a longer club. But at the same time, it might still not be on the green, because it's definitely going to roll over if I hit it good. So you always have to calculate what is the best chance to give yourself the best score. It might not necessarily be hitting a longer club or a shorter club or whatever. It always changes based on the circumstance, but you do need to consider what is the best opportunity for every single shot. Go on a shot by shot basis, The next hole is another difficult hole. It is 442 yards, so it is very long. Although it is downhill, it is still a very long hole for me. And here's one of the things that I wanted to talk about with regards to, well, as I mentioned in the front 9 video in my introduction, I said why I'm not shooting 10 under in this golf course. Well, first of all, if you have played in Southeast Asia, you know that there are certain circumstances that make playing golf in Southeast Asia harder. For instance, we have very high humidity. The humidity in Malaysia is like 90%, so the ball doesn't fly very far. And as I've mentioned time and time again, we are playing carry distance, so the courses becomes a lot longer. And this course is also cow grass, so if you've played a cow grass course, when you're in the rough, it is very difficult. But also the greens are not as easy to read because they are very grainy. So compared to, like I've played golf in the US, I know that the courses there, in general, the courses are a lot better just because of the weather and stuff like that. They're able to maintain different kinds of grass and different kinds of, playing level, because the courses are more pure, because the greens there, the grass, it makes it easier for the ball to roll nicer. Whereas when you're putting on very grainy greens, they're so difficult to read. And if you think about it, think about just a short putt like this. This is a 6-footer. Think about how many grains of grass are in between the ball and the hole, and how just one little grain can push the ball offline. So when you think about it that way, how much of golf is really relying on luck?
Sugarcane water, also known as aitabu, fresh from the farm.
Sorry about that little promo there for aitabu. I just think I love sugarcane water, so if you love it too, give this video a thumbs up. But anyway, like I was saying, when you look at the LPGA, week in and week out, they play greens that are of similar speed, so they have the speed down really, really good. So obviously, I'm not saying that LPGA and PGA players are, mediocre players that are put in great conditions. But I know when I played in Korea, the average speed of the greens were about 10 to 11, and they never fell below that. The only time that they really went really low was maybe due to conditions, and even then it was maybe a 9 or 9.5. That was the least, and that was the slowest greens they ever played, and when I've played in Asia, I've played greens that were speed of 6.5, so, and 6.5 and grainy and slopey. So there are a lot of factors, and I'm not saying the LPGA tour or the PGA tour is easier because it's held in courses with really good conditions or whatnot, but I am saying that there are certain things that help them score better, so don't take it too hard on yourself. Sometimes you miss a 3-footer, sometimes you miss a 4-footer, and I think also you do need to be very realistic. I feel like a lot of people think that the pros make everything. I hear a lot of people tell me all the time, they're like, you are a pro, you can't miss this putt. But in reality, everybody misses putts. If somebody doesn't miss a putt, I think they would literally be a golf god, and that doesn't exist. So even when the best in the world are missing putts, why do we set ourselves up for failure by giving ourselves such unrealistic expectations? Every time we go up to a 3-footer, we think, okay, we cannot miss this. We are, if we miss this, we are stupid, like we're wasting a shot. Even the pros miss them sometimes. Obviously, the more we practice, the higher the percentage that we're going to make these putts, the less percentage that we're going to miss them. But let's not forget, mistakes happen. Another thing here is not only am I hitting long irons into these greens, the greens are also very, very hard. So, when you watch on TV, you can see the pros hitting spin shots, like the ball back spins, things like that. It is almost impossible to do that in Southeast Asian countries, especially with cow grass. If anything, maybe when it's raining, it would just get stuck in its own pitch mark, but it is almost impossible to backspin. I mean, if you're somebody that can consistently backspin on cow grass, I need you to teach me, because you must be some kind of sifu. But, basically what I'm saying here, I hope you guys are kind of understanding what I'm saying. We just give ourselves too unrealistic expectations. When I come out here to KGPA, I do not expect to shoot 10 under. But at the same time, I'm not saying that I cannot. So giving myself the expectation is just unrealistic. But I'm not saying that in a perfect world or on a really, really good day that I'm not able to do that. I am able to do that, and I know that I am going to, it's something that's possible. It's not something that's impossible. But at the same time, if that was to happen, you know that it would be a really, really fantastic round where you legit would be straight on form. Everything will be going your way. You'll be getting good kicks. You would be getting your good lies and things like that, because I believe that that's what it takes to shoot that kind of score on a course like this. The golf gods would just have to be on your side. You would just have to get really lucky. It doesn't matter how skillful you are. Golf always involves a little bit of luck. And I know what they say, the more you practice, the luckier you get. And that is very much true. But you would just have to be basically in amazing form to shoot 10 under. So one of the things that I'm saying here is that, don't go to a golf course thinking, I hear it all the time as a professional golfer. I hear people tell me all the time, you need to shoot even par or better every single time you play. First of all, that is impossible. Even Tiger Woods shoots 80. You might not see it all the time, but it happens. Second of all, this is not exactly the conditions that really accommodate scoring, accommodate that kind of scoring. Obviously, it's, as I said, it's not impossible, but at the same time, it is so difficult because there's just so many factors that do not work in our favor for that kind of scoring. So I feel like as a professional, I know that, and that's why I'm happier in a golf course. I know, sometimes you make bogeys, sometimes you make birdies, sometimes you make eagles, and sometimes you make doubles. It happens. It's all part of the golf game. And taking all these things into consideration, knowing, you know, there's so many factors that comes into playing golf, playing good golf, playing bad golf, whatever kind of golf you're playing. There's so many things that you cannot control. You cannot control grass, you cannot control grain, you cannot control weather, you cannot control the bounce or the lie that you get. So I feel like a lot of times people in their own brains set themselves up for failure by thinking, okay, I can't make a bogey in this hole, I can't miss this short putt, I have to hit the green here. When in fact, all you really need to focus on is what you can do to hit the best shot at any given time. And if you hit a good shot and it doesn't go out the way you plan it to, well, that's golf. So I hope I'm getting my message across in this video. I think that this is something that a lot of people take for granted. They don't think about it. They don't think, you know, like, they don't give themselves expectations that, you know, some people, sure, they would say, you know, I go out and I know that a bogey is a good score. Yeah, but then you make a double on a certain hole that's really, really difficult and you still get upset. So all I'm saying is, let's give ourselves better expectations and set ourselves up for success rather than failure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys.